Hello and welcome to another video of books librarians have got on their shelves. I'm Liss and I have been asked to start my video with a little bit of a disclaimer that this will contain some discussion of some quite unsavoury themes. So if you're of a sensitive disposition, though I won't be going into great swathes of detail, I have been asked to just let you know, because my book today is called Unravelling the Franklin Mystery, and it's the Inuit testimonies compiled by David C. Woodman. So those who don't know, the Franklin expedition is a British naval exploratory service expedition that went looking for the Northwest Passage. This passage was meant to go through the Canadian Arctic over to Russia and China. It would have been a coup for the empire because it would have been control of a whole new trade route. So they left a place called Greenhive in 1845. 134 men were on board the ship. Once they hit Greenland, 5 men were dismissed for ill health and sent back to England. 129 entered into the Arctic and were last seen by whaling ships in 1845 when they set through, seeing fair weather. All 129 men perished. We're not entirely sure why. We do know that every man aboard that ship did die. We know that there was a death march, and we know that it ended for some in cannibalism. We're aware that it was a particularly horrible winter in the Arctic. There was little food. Unfortunately, due to the Navy selecting the cheapest of the canners, Golders, a lot of the food was already spoilt as well. We still don't really know what happened to these 129 men, but we know it wasn't good. Now, a key part of finding out what happened to them, of course, would be to ask the local native people of the time. This was done by a Scotsman named John Ray. He came back to England and he told them what he had been told by the Inuit people of Nunavut, which was these men had resorted to cannibalism and died. This, for the Great British Empire, was of course unconscionable, and as such Dickens said something along the lines of how we should not trust those blubber munching savages. Of course, that's a completely ignorant and stupid perception to have, and it's also proven to be a very, very naive one. Thanks to the help of Nunavut and the Inuit people, we have, in 2014 and 2016 respectively, finally found the ships. Now, this book, ta-da, is a recounting of those Inuit testimony. Inuit history is an oral tradition, so they don't write it down, they pass it through word of mouth. So this is a collection of those stories solely relating to that expedition. It's an excellent work if you are interested in your naval history, if you're interested in the exploratory service, or if you're just interested in I do apologise, if you are just interested in the Franklin expedition. It's broken down into parts, places, and also searches. The book is fascinating. It is full of details that help us piece together what would be these men's last moments. And though it doesn't tell us exactly what happened to them, it really does help us understand the conditions they were going through and what was happening around them at the time as well. It is a fascinating work, and I hope that you would be interested enough to have a look into it, pick it up, and get yourself as enthralled as I am with the Franklin expedition. Right, thank you very much.